Hi, this is Anastasia Hamill coming to talk to you guys again about my journey. I just messed up the other video I just did, so I gotta restart the whole video all over. I stopped it for 1 second just to get a drink of water, and I fucked up the whole video or messed up the whole video, whatever. So yeah, basically, I just wanted to talk a little bit today about going more into detail about my epilepsy. So I was diagnosed at 4 years old. I had brain surgery back in 2008. I am a full blown epileptic. I have had it for so long. So I want to talk a little bit about my surgery. So I had surgery back in 2008. I had what they called a benign brain tumor on my brain stem on in my brain. So basically, that was something that they were concerned about. They thought it was an aneurysm at first, but then they noticed that when they went in, that it was something totally different, something totally more serious, something totally more life-threatening. Went in, took as much as they could out, wanted to test it to see if it was cancerous. It was non-cancerous, which was awesome to know. But they called it a choristoma to the ocular motor nerve. A little bit about that is basically what it is a whole bunch of cells that are stuck on the stem of the brain that stay there and they create a tumor, but they get bigger, 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 and bigger. And when they get bigger, they put more pressure on your nerve, on your brain stem. Um, so basically, I just wanted to go a little bit into more detail about my epilepsy. So basically, I am going to talk a little bit more into details. I have epilepsy, and I was diagnosed with at 4. Um, I'm a little nervous because this is my first actual video about talking about it and speaking about it and expressing how much that it has a lot of stigma. So there is a lot of stigma to it. There is a lot of things I've been through because of the stigma around it. I've been called fake. I've been called a lot of different things around it. But the number one thing about epilepsy is you can't let it control you. You wake up in the morning, oh, I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. Even though you're tired, still get up and fight every morning because if you just stay there, oh, I'm going to just sleep all day, I'm not going to do anything with my day, guess what? The next day you may not wake up. And that is something that an epileptic does have to face because they have to face every day that they may die in their sleep. Some people do have epilepsy in their sleep, and I do. I'm one of those. I have what they call nocturnal seizures in my sleep. I get those every single night that I know of because I wake up and I'm feeling kind of crummy. I get up and I take an Ativan. That's something that basically will help kind of stop it in its action and its course. Not always does it help, but most of the time it does. So I take that, I take a milligram of that, and it seems to calm it down because I get like body jerks, body movements, like I'll start like twitching, I'll start getting really just daisy, like staring. Like people will be like, "Oh, are you okay?" I'm like, yeah, I just don't feel great." Like, well, what doesn't feel well? And I'm like, I can't explain what doesn't feel well because I don't know what feels well and doesn't feel well. But like there's a lot of things related to it. There's a lot more complications. There's a lot more let's just say interesting things about it. I mean, for me, the hardest part is that I'm only 22. I'm young. Still basically growing up. Basically that. It's just so hard because I don't really get why um, I got put in this world to have a chronic illness, but I don't let that bother me. The other thing, too, a little bit about types of epilepsy. I'm sure people are going to ask me that question quite a few times in the comments and ask me to talk more about it, so I'll talk a little bit about it now. I have in the category of generalized seizures, which is tonic-clonic, grand mal, petit mal, absent, all in those categories. And in those categories, a lot of people can, and drop attacks I have too. Mainly I get nocturnal seizures at night too. But the drop attacks are more where I just drop completely and I drop whatever I'm doing, whatever I'm talking about, and boom, that goes right into a tonic-clonic or grand mal seizure. Those are the things that are very, very, very scary for me because I've had so many injuries, neck injuries, head injuries, things like that due to it. it is a scary thing. It's not something that is something I appreciate that I have or something that I enjoy having. My body hurts quite a bit of the time. I wake up with random bruises on me. I'll wake up with scratches to marks on my arm where I'm bleeding, or I'll have like a whole bunch of different like just injuries due to it, like leg injuries, knee injuries, arm injuries, hand injuries, all of that. I've fallen so many times because of it, but today is going on day 2 of being seizure free, and I am so happy. It's been 2 days, but I know what to expect in this situation where I do know to expect that it may happen again. And that's the saddest part and the hardest part for me, is to know that it's a day to day thing. The hardest part about it is that I know I have it. I'm aware of it. I am aware of my body. I'm aware of what happens, like things like that. The only hardest part about this is that I am only 22, and it's scary because I have a lifelong of medical problems, medical bills, all of that, and I don't want to have to deal with it. But I do have to deal with it because that's somebody who I am, how I am, things like that. There's just a little bit about some things I wanted to talk about too, besides on all of what kind of seizures and everything I have. I wanted to also talk a little bit about what you guys may think about it. So you know how there's stigma related to it, about people being bullied because of it, or harassed, or saying, "Oh, you're faking it, you're doing this, you're doing that." Don't let whatever people say about you, even if you have PNES, which is psychogenic non-epileptic seizures. Don't let people tell you they're fake, because guess what? They don't know what is going on with you. They don't know what's going on in your brain. They have no idea what is going on, and whatever you have, that is on you of what you have. And yes, I love to see so many videos of people expressing about that they have epilepsy or PNES. I really enjoy watching those videos of people talking about their journey, and they've overcome this and they've overcome that, and I really enjoy seeing that. But I know that a lot of people, they don't like seeing people seize, because it's scary and it's heartbreaking, and that's on people if they want to share that. Me personally, I don't like sharing stuff like that because it's hard for me, because I don't want to have to go back later on and have to edit a video and be like, oh damn, that's me actually seizing. Oh shit, like that would scare me to actually see myself. I've seen myself when they've recorded it before, and I'm like, that's me. I'm like, yeah, that's you, hon. And I'm like, oh my god. I'm like, that must have been scary. I'm like, yeah, it must have been scary, but your brain is totally like off. You don't know what's going on in these situations. You don't know. You never know what's going on in these situations. Like, you could one day start seizing and never wake up from it. And that's the scariest part. And you may wake up with a tube in your throat and you pull it out of your throat or in your neck because you're practically dead. And that's the saddest part about these cases, is that there are a lot of chances that people, when they get older, that they don't make it from these, epilepsy or things like that. I mean, PNES is a little different. That's a little different category. It's still the same in seizures, but it's a different category. Well, I'll explain a little bit. I don't have PNES, but I know a lot of people who do have PNES, and a lot of people with PNES, they'll have what is called an anxiety-induced seizure. So basically, when their anxiety is really, 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 really high, their body will react into going into a seizure mode. So they'll start seizing and then things like that. But theirs they cannot respond that well to medication besides their mood. Their mood is the only one that can respond well to the medication. The seizure itself can't respond too well to the medication. I've done my research on it, all of that. I know all about it, but mainly my research is on epilepsy because that's what I have. But like with people with epilepsy, they don't remember what goes on during a seizure. They don't know exactly what goes on. They may know a little bit sometimes of like the beginning of, oh, all I remember is I fell. That's all I know. And that's the scariest part of knowing you fell. But where did you fall? Where did you wake up? Sometimes you wake up in the hospital. Sometimes you wake up somewhere you don't even know where the hell you're at. And it's like, ooh, what the hell is going on? Like, I've had those times where I've woken up in places where I'm like, how did I get here? Where was I before this? Like, I don't remember being here. And like, everyone's like, oh, honey, calm down. Like, you're fine, you're safe, you know. And I'm like, but how did I get here? I don't remember. It's like, well, sorry to tell you, you had a seizure, and yeah, you know, unfortunately, you were unconscious for so long, and you are finally back. We're happy, but you know, after the fact, there are recovery modes in that. Like, I have had problems in the past with my epilepsy where I couldn't walk for so long. Where I had trouble walking, I had to go to a physical rehab. I had to be in a rehabilitation for so long because I was struggling walking. I had paralysis due to my epilepsy. I have permanent sided, left sided numbness and weakness, and all of that. I have friends who have epilepsy also, but I also have friends who have PNES. So, you know, I'm not out here to brag about it or to, you know, like say, oh, I'm happy about it. I'm not happy about it. And people can tell just by these videos. I don't smile that much about it because it's not something that I'm proud of. And it's not something I like having. I do just like spreading awareness because of all the stigma that people think that's around it. And there is a lot of stigma. You can read more about it. And I will talk a little bit on my channel. But I just wanted to say that there are a lot of things that I do want to describe to it is that I don't want people to come to my channel and hate on my channel. Oh, you know, why aren't you so used seizing? Well, because guess what? I don't want to personally see that. I am not that type that like to see myself seize. I don't like seeing that because that's just something I don't like seeing. And it's scary to me and it's fact and its meanings because I don't know what's going on. I mean, other people may record and put it on my channel. I don't know. I personally don't want anyone to do that because it's something personally that's very hard for me because I don't really like other people seeing me seize. I'm sure if other people see that they can notice I'm going into one in a video, okay, that's different. But it's not like I personally, yeah, like showing that stuff because I know it can be triggering to other people and upsetting to other people and heartbreaking to other people, especially my family, who have to see that and stuff, my siblings and everything. And I don't want them to see that on this channel because I'm sure they'll be looking at my channel and seeing everything on me about it. And so, yeah, it's just, I'm hoping that this will be spreading so much awareness. I'm hoping that there will be more, I will do definitely more videos if I get more viewers on my videos. Um, the other thing I want to talk about too, I said I have an eating disorder. I was diagnosed with anorexia and bulimia at a young age, but that is something that's a little harder topic to talk about because it's not something I enjoy talking about or anything like that, and that means. So yeah, it's a little harder and that means because it's like I know I have an eating disorder. I know I struggle with it. I know all of that. But that's just something that on my channel I'm not going to be talking too much about because it's something that on this channel specifically only being about my epilepsy journey and how I've recovered and all of that. But yes, there are other factors in other people's lives. They don't just have epilepsy. They have other things. I have brain injuries. I have all these sorts of other medical problems, heart failure, heart conditions, and all of that. But I don't let that bother me and I don't let the stigma bother me because I know there's mean people out there and I know there's a lot of nice people out there who really want to help and who really want me to get better and want me to succeed happily in my life and have a family and everything like that. And that's something that I really do really sympathize and empathize for a lot of people. That, you know, if you do have epilepsy and you do have PNES, you know, you just have to accept it and understand that it's a fact of life. We all deal with things. Some people have other medical problems like cancer or other things. But, you know, it's a lot harder for people to talk about other things because it's not something we enjoy talking about. It's not something we enjoy showing, but we do it because we know that the stigma around it is very hard for us. I know for me it is extremely hard, the stigma. It is very hard because I don't like being judged by it. I don't like being told I can't do this because I have this problem or that problem. I don't like that at all because I know that I have a condition I can't help and that has no cure. The chronic illness that has no cure. It's a rare, illness that there is no cure. And that's sad. I mean, there's medication, there's surgery, and all of that. See, me, I'm personally one of those that I want something to be done about my epilepsy because it is so debilitating to me to sit here and be in bed most of the time, all the time, because I am too sick to get up, too sick to do anything. And I'm just like, really, can it be a day where I'm just happy and do things? You know? All right, well, I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you all later. Love you all. Bye.